Hi, I'm Thel Roundtree, and I'd like to welcome you to today's podcast. In this edition of our podcast, we'll be checking in with Grammy Award-winning engineer and producer Terry Howard. Terry will be giving us his views on technology and the magic of recording. So, let's check in with Terry.
Everything's gotten technical, but what's even happened is like during the 70s and that, when a lot of engineers like myself went by the seat of our pants and had to know electronics in order to make the mixing board and do it all work. And not only that, somebody wanted something to create a sound, you had to know how to go about making certain pieces of equipment. Same thing with synthesizers. When synthesizers was a plug-and-patch situation, the creative element was more experimenting and finding things and doing them. And when the 80s came, you got FM synthesis done for synthesizers. You've got digital, delay devices that can sample and hold. That started putting things into what I call the lazy man's perspective, because you could take something and hold it and manipulate it. You got more into manipulating things, but not from a technical standpoint, but more from a do as the box works standpoint. That's also when a lot of sounds from synthesizers started sounding the same. Reverb started sounding the same. And even when another company would make a competing reverb device, they tried to copy the competitor. So you had so many things sounding the same, and then you move into the computer area, and now you got loop-based editing, you got all the MIDI stuff you want, you can even take an auto-tune apart. It's taken and made things very lazy type in a way, and also mundane and very boring in some ways. And yeah, you can capture the snap and all that and make things tight, but the one thing I've always believed in music, I don't care if it's done sampling, digital or whatever, you have to instill magic. Some of the worst recorded songs have been some of the best hits because they instilled that magic. I've been in sessions where you didn't stop the performance because a note was bad because the magic was there. And I keep thinking a lot of times I see that being forgotten. We focus on the technology, we focus on every track's being aligned. And there's something to be said that when the bass player anticipates the drummer and pushes his downbeat just a little bit faster than the kick drum, that can set the edge to the music. Or he can lay it back and put it into a groove. We forget about those things. It's the same thing you worry about auto-tuning, and you forgot that when you slip that note a little flat, it sounded a little more tearful because it was a sad song, and you put the soul, because when you're singing from your heart, nothing's perfect. And a lot of times it's emotion. One of the artists I worked for years, Ray Charles, I stopped him once when I first started recording because I thought he was extremely late coming into the song. And I said, man, you were really late. He said, well, man, I'm going to tell you something. You can tell the guitar player he's late. You can tell the drummer he's late. You can tell anybody in the band they're late. But I'm the star. I'm setting the tempo. I'm setting the emotion. I don't have a timing problem. And he was right, And the same with his stuttering. I catch him rehearsing his stuttering. Because like he said, I stutter when I'm, by myself and that, when he's talking freehand. But when he's singing a song, you don't stutter. I mean, Mel Tillis was a big stutterer, and he never stuttered on a song. So when Ray put that into a song, in a vocal part, it was deliberately meant to be there, that I can't, whatever he would sing, And that, like I said, these are the things I think people will overlook in trying to make perfection.
Thanks, Terry. Well, that about wraps it up for this edition of the HowAudio.com podcast. Be sure to check us out on the web for all your audio, music, and software training needs. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.